Welcome to this tutorial for beginners. In this video, I'll build on previous lessons to help you solve puzzles more efficiently. This lesson is on recognizing the completed segment pattern. It's easy to recognize and a powerful tool to help place numbers. Let's start by first defining what a segment is, and then I'll show you how to use it strategically. First, what is a segment? A segment is when three cells line up together across a row or down a column. The cells must line up in the same 3x3 block. Let's take a look at this 3x3 block. These three cells all line up horizontally within the block, so these three cells make up a segment. And these three cells all line up vertically within the block, so this is also a segment. The pattern we're looking for in this lesson is a completed segment. This means that all three cells in the segment have numbers in them. Here's an example of a completed segment, and here's another example. You see how easy it is to recognize this pattern? Look for it when you're solving a puzzle. It can help you find numbers you might otherwise not see. Sometimes a puzzle starts off with a completed segment already in the puzzle, and sometimes it appears later as you fill in the numbers. Let's have a look at how this pattern can help, and then I'll give you some tips on what to look for. In this example, there's only one 4 in the middle rank. That is the middle group of horizontal blocks. But there is a completed segment in block 5. That's going to enable me to place the 4 here in row D, column 2. Do you see why? Think about it. Let's have a closer look at block 5. Where can the 4 go in block 5? Well, since there's a completed segment in row D, and there's already a 4 in row E, then the 4 has to go in one of these two cells in row F. Now do you see why the 4 must go here? Row F is eliminated since the 4 is penciled into two locations where it must go in block 5. If we're using Snyder notation, then we know the 4 must be in one of those two cells and nowhere else in block 5. These cells contain what is sometimes referred to as ghost 4s. Since we know for sure a 4 is in one of those two cells, we don't know which, so they're ghost numbers, sometimes called phantom numbers. And row E is eliminated because there is already a 4 in row E, block 6, so the 4 in block 4 must go in row D, and the only open cell is this one, row D, column 2. Using the completed segment in block 5, we were able to place the number easily in block 4. I'll give you some more powerful ways you can use the completed segment pattern in a minute, but first I need to point out two constraints on using this pattern. One, the number you're trying to place, in this case the number 4, cannot appear in the same block as the completed segment, so we can't have a 4 anywhere in block 5. And 2, the number you're trying to place cannot appear in the same row or column as the completed segment. So if the 4 that is in block 6 was in row D, the same row as the completed segment, then this strategy won't work. The number has to be in a different row or column than the completed segment. In this example, the 4 in block 6 is in row E, so that works. I think we can all agree that it's easy to spot the completed segment pattern, but what do you do when you see it? Take a look at this example. You can see right away the completed segment in block 7, right? Great! So now what? Whenever you see a completed segment, look outside that block, either up the same stack or across the same rank. Look for a number that is not in the same block as the completed segment and not in the same row or column of the completed segment. Do you see a number that fits that description in this example? Think, do you see it? Pause this video and look. The completed segment is here in block 7, and the only numbers in that stack that are not in block 7 are the numbers 1 and 6. But the 6 is in the same column as the completed segment, so the only number that conforms to the rules is the number 1. It's not in block 7, and it's not in the same column as the completed segment. Great! Now that we've identified the number 1, do you see where it can be placed in block 4? It would go right here in row E, column 3. Do you see that? Let's look at block 7 because it has a completed segment in column 3 and there's already a 1 in column 2. Then the 1 has to go in column 1, block 7, either here or here. These are viewed as ghost or phantom numbers since we know the 1 is somewhere here, we just can't see it yet. Now when we look at block 4, the 1 can't go in column 1 because of the ghost numbers in column 1, and there's already a 1 in column 2, block 1. So the only place the 1 can go is here in column 3, row E. Do you see that? Here's another example. Pause the video and think about what I'm about to say. Can you guess? Well, first there is a completed segment here in block 5, row E. Now, can we do anything with the number 6 in block 4? Yes, we can. Do you see it? It would go right here in block 6, row E, column 8. Do you see that? Let's take a look at block 5. Where can a 6 go? It can't go in row D since there is already a 6 in row D, and it can't go in row E because of the completed segment. So the 6 must go in one of the 3 open cells in row F. Those numbers are ghosts, but still it means that a 6 cannot go in row F in block 6. So now do you see where the 6 goes? It can only go here. So using the completed segment pattern along with the ghost numbers in block 5, we can place the 6 in block 6. There is a variation on completed segments where the segment isn't totally completed but can be considered completed. For example, take a look at this puzzle grid. It's the same as before, except now we don't have a completed segment in block 5, but we have a 6 in column 6. That 6 in column 6 effectively blocks this cell from being a 6. And we can think of this segment as a virtual completed segment since it acts the same way for the number 6. Even though we don't have a completed segment here, it acts like one. And these 2 cells again contain ghost 6s. So now we can place the 6 in block 6 here. Now let's take a look at another way we can use the completed segment when we have candidates penciled in. First, let's look at a puzzle without candidates penciled in. We see here we have a 5 in block 6, and it can only go in row F in block 5 because of the completed segment here. Does that help us to place a 5 somewhere in block 4? Well, in this case, no, since the 5 can either go here or here. But let's say we had previously penciled in a matching pair using Snyder notation like this. Now we can deduce where the 5 goes in block 4. Do you see where? Well, since we have ghost 5s here in block 5, then this cell can no longer be a 5. It must therefore be a 2. Then this cell would be the 5. That's it for this lesson. I will continue to build on this lesson by lesson, working from the beginner level where we are now up through intermediate and on to advanced until I've covered most of the strategies used by Sudoku solvers. If you enjoy these lessons, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I upload new lessons. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.